Hello, everybody, and welcome to Frozen Sick. I'm
We are now on the air.
correct.
Literally, we are floating inside of a cloud house.
I don't want.
Somebody please help us,
No,
or maybe just at least get 911.
is this the opening to a Nightwish episode? What the hell? Anyway,
No.
thanks anybody who out there who's watching tonight. Got a little bit of a late start, but that's all right because we have talents to get into our character sheets on these guys as well. Also, Roll20's 10th anniversary is apparently right now. While I don't speak for the brand of the company, I do speak for myself when I say I'm very happy about all the freaking free tokens that they gave me. I like it a lot. The May free reward box was fucking awesome. I just wish I could have had those centaur tokens earlier, so I didn't have boring generic centaurs for my Dragon's Vice Spire Peak campaign. Except for Gingy. Her token was fire. No notes. Um, but yeah, welcome back to Frozen Sick, the little level 1 through 3 one shot that we're running while Kalith is dealing with some IRL stuff before she can get back to DMing for us in the lovely little jungle campaign that we were in. But yeah, uh, last time, uh, everybody managed to make it through Croaker Cave a-okay. They met with Hulil's sister and convinced her to let them help um, by going after the vial that she happened to sell, which they are pinpointing as possibly the cause of the sickness, maybe. So they went back to the city, managed to convince the law that that War Turtle was framed, sort of. Alomiak did most of the talking. Um, but anyway, yeah, they convinced them that War was framed, and so he didn't have to get arrested. Um, they went and they talked to basically the headman of the village, the elder, one would say, about what they had discovered. And they met a family inside the Jolly Dwarf Inn that Hulu's sister had sold the vial to. And they gave the vial to the elder, and he said to come back in the morning after he'd had time to research things and see what he could find out about what steps everybody should take from there. Alomiak offered his house to the family that was possibly infected with whatever was in that vial, and he offered them his house, and then promptly forgot about that as they went there to sleep. And we're gonna pick up with a tiefling child literally launching through the air at a Lomiak. Lomiak, dexterity saving throw.
Sure thing, boss.
Did he do that last
Sure
time? He did.
thing.
He got a 20.
Oh yeah, that's
Did
right. You did get a 20.
I? I catch this child and I swing her around in a circle and do airplane.
Vroom! And she puts her arms out and literally screams with joy. And that's when you feel a tug on your robe as the second young tiefling girl is they are waiting dutifully for her turn.
Alamiak eventually spins over into a corner away from the door so everybody else can come in and is just cackling, just childlike, gleefully cackling. It appears to be enjoying this as much as the child.
Hope, magic, stop! You can't just and they're very distraught. Parents, Irvin and Fenton, both try to retrieve the children from you, although they do allow both to have one airplane ride before collecting them. We're really sorry about the house. We tried to keep them from damaging it, but it wasn't easy.
It's okay. Tiny gremlins are very fun.
Gremlins they are, and we would not be the same without them. But what did you find out about the vial? And he looks anxiously at you.
Ah, smart elf boy across the street maybe know things. Actually knows nothing, but going to look into it over the night.
Ah, good. You sure we are all right to stay here?
Yeah, sure. Previous owner died of the same thing, so can't get reinfected, you know?
They look very concerned.
Oh, but he had it way longer. You're fine. You're fine. It's fine. You're fine.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And then Olemiak's gonna waddle over to the stove and just, I don't know, start poking around for food. Probably has snacks hidden under the stove.
Alrighty. Well, Hafu, what are you doing?
Abu is just kind of like trying to smile nicely, like, yes, the children, don't come near me, little creepy little gremlins.
So it's the inner Kathy monologue.
Pretty much, yeah. Just it's like, okay, this is fine. They will stay over there. Don't touch me. I don't know how to handle the children.
What the
Steven,
frick is a
are you
Tyler
here?
Gwen?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, come on in. You need some rest.
I'm
And
cold.
like shoves him in a chair.
He offers no resistance and is shoved in a chair. He looks a little bit woozy. He takes the blanket from the bed and wraps it around himself.
Vinton Turtle, are you coming in?
Yeah. What time of day is it right now?
It's near the evening, so it's starting to get dark. You do have your own houses here if you wanted to spend the night in them, although it kind of seems like maybe you guys might want to have a little in-character powwow before the separation happens.
Well, Havu was just asking because she would have just slammed the door closed if they weren't coming in.
I apologize, but I don't entirely remember what we're supposed to do next or where we're going next. I know it's out of town, but I forget.
So you haven't been told where you're going next, actually.
Oh, okay.
The elven elder asked you to please wait until morning. He's going to stay up all night researching possibilities about cures, and let you guys know where, if anywhere, that he needs you to go to try and help out.
Yeah, so Lomiak invited everybody over for a sleepover. Because why not?
Yep.
They're probably all infected anyway.
Okay. Now I know I forgot to grab any of the large frog legs. Did I grab any like normal size ones? I feel like I did do that.
Yeah.
Or am I just misremembering that?
They got frozen solid and stuck in the pack.
Let me roll a d4 and see how many frog legs you got. You got 2 giant frog legs.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, because they were frozen solid off the very first frog that we killed, and then we tried to stuff in the backpack, and you're like, yep, that's all you can pick, because they're really fucking huge.
Basically, yep.
Yeah. Fenton will go over to the kitchen and start trying to work on those.
Yeah, you find. Well, as you get over there, you see a Lomiak pulling out like an armful of snacks, like soot-coated fruit and veggies, and probably no meat at all because temptation is bad. Anyway, and he just kind of brings it over to the sink and dumps it in and says, "Food." Points at the pile of soot-covered things, and just then proceeds to go over and cuddle Steven for warmth.
I don't remember. Has Fenton offered a Lomiak chicken yet? I feel like he did.
I think he did when you guys were just outside the Hulil's house. You offered Fenton, you offered a Lomiak some chicken. And I think a Lomiak failed their con save for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a while ago though. I'd have to rewatch the episodes. Which yes,
Yeah.
I honestly
yes,
don't
I'll
remember,
put
but
them
it
on
sounds
YouTube.
like a Lomiak.
But anyway, yeah.
You're
So
like,
soot.
what this?
You've got 2 giant frozen frog legs, and you've got a bunch of soot-covered veggies and fruits and things in
Probably
various
stolen.
states of goodness.
And morality, because most of them are stolen.
Shame.
Look, fresh fruit and fresh vegetables are hard to come by when you live in a frozen wasteland.
Yeah. He'll see if he can try to thaw out the legs by having them just like maybe. And he even chop up the legs, but he doesn't want to chop up the legs. He's going how? Okay, so comparison to him, how big, how long are the legs?
They are about 2/3 his size.
2/3. Okay,
If
so
nobody
with using like 4 baking sheets, maybe more, he's gonna try to simmer this thing.
Alomiak looks at him pulling out the baking sheets from the cupboard and laying them out, and he's like, why not use bathtub? Giant pot.
Where would I put the fire?
Under the bathtub.
Oh, I'm thinking like modern day. That is a good idea. I don't know why I'm thinking modern day baths.
I mean, you could do
But it's
that.
attached to the wall because of the jets that come out of the side of the tub. What are you talking about?
Your tub has jets? Goddamn!
I mean, there is probably a cauldron to go on the fire for making like soup and stuff.
But okay,
my bathtub is plastic. It doesn't have jets.
I don't have jets either. I was just trying to think of the most
by modern,
ridiculous tub.
by modern day, I just basically meant I totally forgot about the ones that had legs and
So-
you can actually put stuff under.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. The bathtub that's in my master bedroom's bath does have jets, but they do not work. And also, from what I've heard, they can get a lot of fucking mold in there anyway. So,
Yeah, you gotta clean those things out like religiously if you actually use them.
like,
And
every
even if you don't
15
use
days.
them, you have to clean them.
I haven't used that bathtub in literal years. The last time I used that thing, it was to soak a really huge comforter that I couldn't put inside the washing machine, just so that I could get a stain off of it.
It's
And
the
it was
laundry
even
tub. Got
longer
it.
since that was actually used as a bedroom.
Yeah, it's the laundry tub. That's what it is.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
So,
and
with
also
that-
it costs so much to heat the water to put in there. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
That is a good idea, actually. I will do that.
Yeah. Nobody take back.
And just like, and then starts dragging the 2 frog legs slowly because he's not very strong
Yet
towards
you
the
carry
bathroom.
them in your bag without a problem. These bags are magic.
I thought War was carrying them.
War
Alomiak
was
watches
carrying
him
them.
suffer because he's not leaving Steve inside.
Yeah, War was carrying them. War, do you help Finton get the giant frog legs into the bathtub for cooking?
Yes, cooking froggy legs. I will eat this giant slimy leg.
Well, it won't be
That's what
slimy
it
after
does.
it's done cooking.
Ah.
I will eat this giant not slimy leg.
It is meat. As we know, turtles are carnivores.
Hmm
Yes, we
Especially
also
if
like
they're named War
eating
Turtle.
seaweed.
Delicious,
As
delicious.
well as even salads. We'll even settle for that.
I miss seaweed.
We are omnivores.
I would cook one first because I don't know if I've ever actually tried to cook one of these frozen frogs before.
Smaller versions of this, yes. Never something so big as that. You usually get them in the summertime when the big ones are hibernating and asleep, and it's just the little young spawn that are awake and alive, you know, the super young ones. The ones that are like
Okay.
medium frog size. Like their frog legs would be about as long as one of your legs.
Ah.
By the way, if you critical fail on this, you owe me a new bathtub.
Well, yeah, because you have to roll for cooking utensils, don't you? Yes, you do.
I would try to. So it's porcelain, probably.
No, it would not be porcelain. Usually,
Probably metal.
it would usually be like brass or copper
Yeah.
type.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I
porcelain
don't know if this is how this would work, but my instinct would be like trying to slow cook it. I've never actually cooked frog legs. Finton probably knows more than I do.
So that'll be like 8 hours of cooking, right? It'll be ready tomorrow morning whenever you find out what it
Oh
is.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna.
I can probably roll thieves' tools if I can figure out how to on
It's cook's utensils.
or that's what I don't know why I said thieves' tools, but yes, that.
It's here in your thingy if you want me to do that for you.
I want to try.
Okay.
I'm a big kid now.
Bam.
Where are my tools? I think there they are.
Habu's gonna be like looking around the corner at him, being like, "I want to see how this works."
Do you know who
And
else
if
wants
it
to?
doesn't work, I
Is-
really want to
Is
see
it
that
like
too.
just a straight dex check with proficiency, basically?
No, you just click on if you're in D&D
I'm
Beyond.
in D&D Beyond, so.
Yeah, so you just click on where it says cook's utensils under proficiencies.
Mhm. Well, meanwhile, while this is going on, Olomiak is going to leave Steven for just a minute to fetch him a hot water bottle. It's probably filled with soup or something because he doesn't know where the. It's just.
I
It's
went
still-
there, no roll
Okay.
prompt happening.
Okay. Do you want me to roll it for you? Because it's here.
As well, yeah.
Because it's right here in roll 20. You've already got it set.
I know.
Nice.
Dang. Yeah. You're really good at frog cooking.
I don't even
especially
know
in a
what I
bathtub.
rolled.
I wonder how good you are at turtle
23.
soup.
You rolled 23 and 24. Those
Oh,
were
damn.
your 2 rolls. You're very good at cooking in a bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
This place has a fireplace, so yeah, he probably he would have grabbed a wood that would have been normally used for the fireplace and is using that as like the tub as a cauldron.
Mm-hmm. Put a baking
let me-
sheet underneath it so you don't set the rest of the house on fire, I assume.
Yeah.
And then Olomiak goes out to get more firewood because, god damn it, you took fire away from Steven! But first, Steven gets a hot water bottle placed inside his cocoon of blanket and he gets a smooch on the forehead. Be right back.
And then he has an idea for the second leg, and then he was like, "Alamiak, do you have a second bathtub?"
Olomiak pauses outside the door, sticks his head back in and says, old man only get naked sometimes. Only needed one. Sorry. and then it's gonna run off, leaving that image in your head.
Only naked sometimes.
That's
Okay,
called
darling.
a birthday suit.
Lily, you're not here right now.
I'm everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
You know who did say that though? Hope did.
Yeah. Yep. She sure did.
One of her dads clamps a hand over her mouth. It's like, Hope, we don't talk about such things. Why can't you be more like your sister Magic? She doesn't say those embarrassing things.
Not out loud.
As she stares into Habu's eyes, she has not blinked yet. She's been watching her the entire time.
And if Habu notices, then she's going to just start staring back at the child. But let's see if she actually notices.
Is there a window in the bathtub? Or bathroom where I'm cooking?
In the bathtub.
There is no bathroom, actually. This is all one room, basically. These aren't very large houses.
Yeah, the dude
Ah.
was like rich, but not like rich, you know?
He's rich
Okay.
enough that his house does not have holes in it like some of the other houses you see.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Plus, he didn't stay there very often. He was traveling a lot, so there was no need for him to keep it like super perfect and
Yeah.
stately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, he's looking for some sort of ventilation so smoke, like, we don't smoke up the house.
Yeah,
He doesn't smoke up the house.
I mean, there are windows. There are windows.
And I'm
Okay.
pretty sure there's going to be like ventilation up in the roof because if there's a fireplace in the kitchen, then you got to have the cooking stuff go somewhere that's not just straight through the windows. Usually houses of this design would have like right
Well,
here
you
would
can't
be the
see
vent.
it, but Havu's on top of the chimney. See?
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah.
Almost
Okay.
like it was designed for that.
And as Alomiak goes and starts beginning to chop down a tree in the middle of town next to a bunch of houses, it's about 3-4 minutes before a guard comes rushing and huffing and puffing over. Alomiak, what are you doing? Stop!
Eh? He just turns around holding an axe.
You can't cut down a tree so close to those buildings. It's gonna fall on one of them.
Oh. Eh. Gravity not always win. And he kind of like cranks off the branch he'd been hacking at and then just starts dragging it back to the house. Okay, bye now.
Alright. Bye-bye.
just dragging this big ass branch down the street. He brings it to the front door and starts chopping at it some more to break it down.
He could have just went right across the street and got this one, but he had to go all the way down the road.
That's a bush. That's not a real tree. It's just a tiny evergreen bush. It's not enough.
Yeah.
Look, it's got a
Okay,
point.
way too much smoke. I could have gone for this one back here. It's not near any houses, but then I might have pissed off this dude, and he might not give them the cure. And Lomiak's all paranoid now.
But also, I mean, there's like, what are these? Like lamp posts? They're probably made of wood. There's probably a fence somewhere.
you know what? You're so right.
Nobody needs light. I mean,
It's already pre-cut too. You just have to break it. Then it's already kindling. So much work saved.
Well, if you would have asked, I could have told you.
Don't put it in the popcorn.
You
Hold
see
still,
Alomiak
put something
staring
outside of his face.
longingly at the light post as he breaks down this goddamn branch that he hacked off a tree.
There we go. Got it. You don't need popcorn right now, honey. It's too close to bedtime. You can have a yogurt if you want, but no popcorn. You can have cereal, no popcorn. Anywho, sorry, popcorn debacle.
No, it's okay.
But anyway, yeah, you've got a branch, you bring it back, you break it up so that it can be used for the fire, and it's actually pretty toasty inside now that Finton has it going. Magic is still in a staring contest with Havu, but Hope has wiggled free, and she's currently standing at the side of the bathtub as Finton is stirring it with his giant spoon, putting spices in, and she's just repeating over and over again while raising and lowering her hands in the air between each word. Bubble, 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 bubble.
What?
Yeah, you have an apprentice, Fendon. That's what.
Bubble, 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 leg of frog, leg of frog.
Oh, okay.
And or a heathen witch in training. One or the other.
Second thing is probably more likely given.
Anyway, Alomiak comes in with an armful of twigs and branches and stuff that looks oddly familiar, like one of the well-pruned Good steady, trees. And he starts shoving it into the fireplace in the other side of the room to keep it more toasty. He stares, looks over at Havu and just Havu, child, Havu, child. Looks at Havu and says, "You're not going to eat that, are you?"
No, but I will win. Or no, excuse me. Who will win?
That's
I
what they
feel
all
like
think.
Finton would have tried to do this earlier than I thought of, but he's gonna try to like crock pot this thing, so like put something over the tub.
What are you trying to put over the tub?
He is looking for something to do that.
It is a tub.
I know.
It needs a lid. What else do you need for a bathtub is other than a lid?
I know. I'm looking. I will jerry rig something to make a lid for this bathtub. Are there like any are there abandoned houses?
Yeah.
There's one abandoned house up here.
I was gonna say, you better go to another house, start scavenging your stuff. Alomius is gonna be staring at you like, I still live here, you know. This is still my house.
I am friends with all of these. What are you doing to Derek?
If I were to go to one of those houses, would I find like enough wood, like planks of wood or something like that, that would cover the bathtub top?
Make an investigation check and I can tell you if you would.
Okay.
Or at least,
Okay.
wood that you wouldn't be afraid to get near food.
Yeah. Investigation. I will never roll above a 10. 9.
Yeah, most of the wood you find is moldering because of the snow and wet that has eaten its way through the roof to drip down below. It's not anything you would want to put anywhere near your food.
Okay. This house is bad. Is there any other abandoned houses I can look for?
Let's see. Are any of these
Check
actually
your DMs
big?
when you have a second, Aaron.
Do what now? Oh, I
Check,
see.
check your DMs when you have a second.
Yes. This is canon now. We'll address it. Anyway,
Cooking
Sorry.
D&D.
Sorry.
anyway,
Or glass. The glass should be a thing.
glass is a thing, but where would you find a intact piece of glass large enough to fit over an entire fucking bathtub?
Last
The
table?
shop that's no longer a shop?
Even their windows aren't as big as that. And besides, it would
If
be
just
there was
make
glass
note
painted
table, it would
across
probably
the
be in Fancy Man's house.
Shit.
You could get you could get some canvas and cut it and like put it over top.
I was thinking of doing like a bed sheet or canvas and just have even, as long as there are a couple sheets of glass that can go along the width of a breath,
No, I mean
I'll just put them all.
They don't have a lot of windows to begin with up here in the frozen north, just because the sheer cold can break glass quite easily. So they don't have a lot of windows, and the ones they do have are quite small, so it's easy to like replace the glass because glass is expensive.
Yeah. Fun fact, back in the day, in cold climates, people would actually use crystals for their windows. It was a lot more expensive, but it held up to the cold a lot better.
And most of the people here wouldn't be able to afford something like that.
Mhm.
So the
Turtle shell on it.
Oh God. War, take off your shell.
I can't take off my shell. It's embedded in my body.
I didn't say you
Turtle
had to
soup.
take it off. I just said put him on the tub.
Like what? Like, what do you want me to do? Take
Well,
off
prepare
a
the
vital
bed for
part
you.
of my body? Like, do you want me
Well,
to die or something?
I prepared a bed for you.
Shell can come off, shell just should not come off.
No,
Is
the
different.
shell literally cannot come off. It's embedded on my body.
Wanna bet?
No.
Like, I literally cannot live without it. It's also
So
my
it can
protective
come off. That
built-in
is
armor.
the point.
The question wasn't whether you leave, the question was whether it come off or not.
Yeah, well, no. It will not come off whether I want it to or not.
Havu, this is the point where you win the staring match just because Hope slowly cranes her neck around to look at War and says, I want to see it come off.
Jesus Christ, kid.
See, the child wants it.
What the fuck is wrong with these children?
Meanwhile, you've got magic over there. Bubble, 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 bubble.
Also, I win.
Slowly,
I don't know why these people want me to take off my shell.
slowly, Hope turns her gaze back to Havu.
Nah, nobody asking you to take off your shell. Just reminding you that you are mortal and in great peril at all times.
Yeah, do you want to know what taking off my shell would be like?
Painful and deadly.
It would be like skinning my torso to the bone.
But it's doable. That's the point.
I don't think you understand the point I'm trying to make here.
I don't think you're understanding the point we are trying to make.
Hope
The point
slowly
I'm
looks
trying to
back
make
at
is that
War
if I
again.
take it off, I die.
Right, but it can be taken off. That's the point.
No. Thing is, you'd have to actually cut into my skin in order to get this thing off.
That is
you
a
actually need
doable
to-
thing.
Yeah, and probably use
Well,
Phantom
it's
Giant's
not
book
gonna
scope
happen,
too.
and it's not gonna be doable, because if you try, I can behead you like I beheaded that little, whatever it was.
Yeah, we
Everything.
don't talk about that.
We don't
It's
talk
pretty much
about it.
everything. He cuts everything in half.
Anyway, back to the soup. Hey, the frog leg soup.
Also, I'm not trying to make a soup. I'm trying to grill and slow cook it. Hence why I'm
Oh.
looking for something to cover.
I thought you
Yeah,
were making stew.
So I'm just trying to see how I can cook this. I never said I put water or like seasonings, yeah, but I haven't
Well,
put
then-
water in.
Then you're gonna have to deglaze the shit out of that bathtub because
Yeah.
otherwise that's a ruined bathtub.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you get some whiskey or something? You can use that to what is it?
Deglaze.
Defond? No, the fond on the bottom of
Wine
the.
could be a very good
to
seasoning, but
to
maybe
des-
after it's done cooking.
to
Well,
despawn.
As somebody who actually does use her crock pot and her slow cooker, you do have to put some kind of liquid in there or some melted butter or something.
Well, not enough for it to be a whole stew.
Okay, well you gotta put something in there or you're not gonna have a frog leg, you're gonna have charred meat stuck to the pan that you gotta scrape off with a fucking ice pick.
Well, Vincent knew that was a 23.
Yeah, with a 23,
Yes.
you know what to
Real,
do.
I have made it clear that I don't know how to cook.
You made a cook! You made a cook!
Okay, here's what happens, right?
Okay.
He
Because
starts,
this is fantasy. I get to play things that I'm not.
it's okay, I
Snake.
got you. What happens is he puts these things in the bathtub filled with water to thaw them out. He drains the water and then proceeds to heat up the bottom of the copper bathtub to the point where it starts sizzling, and then he just sears these things on all sides, get them nice and crispy. There's all this frog gunk stuck to the bottom, right? And he remembers, oh shit, I have this awesome, good. And he just whips out this bottle and glug 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 into the bathtub it goes. He makes double checks to make sure the stopper is like right in there, right? So that way he doesn't waste anything. And then he just starts braising it, and the house starts to smell amazing. And then Olomiak has to step outside because he starts growling.
There's like a bunch of different timbres of growl too. It's not just like one solid growl. It's just like a chorus.
it's his tummy's like really going. Yeah, he's
Tamiz.
and,
With an S at the end.
only one stomach, like most creatures.
He come from line of mutant cow. More than 4 stomachs.
Oh my god.
Is secretly Minotaur under hood.
Yeah. That's safer than the truth.
But anyway, yeah, long story short, slow cooking these babies is gonna take pretty much all night, but they should be ready by morning for you.
I finally saw your message, Kat.
All right. But anywho, anything else you guys want to do before going sleepy by bedtimes?
I guess we can't lock the children in a closet or something.
And
She thinks of that. She doesn't say it out loud because then she would make the couple who are not friends angry.
Irvin, one of their two fathers, does look concerned at the small space and says to Olomiak when his stomach stops growling, "Are you sure it's all right for us to stay? We can go back to the inn. We did have rooms there."
Yeah. Well, you know, if you worry about spreading the frozen thing, then yeah, stay here. I don't mind. You take the bed. It's big bed.
Oh,
We sleep on the floor. It's fine. We've been doing it for days now.
all right. Hope, Magic, it's time for bed. Say good night to the nice person letting us stay in their home. And Magic pops
wait,
up in front of Olomiak and says, "One more airplane ride?"
Okay, but on one condition.
What?
You don't open the broom closet and you don't ask for Bernie.
I don't know what a Bernie is.
Good, very good. Then yes. And then he picks up the child and starts airplaning.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah!
Hope does not come over for another airplane ride, but Magic has lots of fun. Hope has imperceptibly inched closer and closer to you, Havu, this entire time. I rolled stealth privately to see if you would notice against your passive perception. But you are currently maybe half a foot apart at this point. She is staring straight into your eyes.
And then you look back, and then she's back where she was. And then you look back, and then she's a foot away again.
Yeah, basically.
Havu like slithers lower to like look at her dead in the eyes.
Why
And
do I feel
says-
like you're thinking it? Oh, go ahead.
And then says, "Go to bed." And it just turns away.
But Havu, she's being. But Havu, she's being so quiet. She's the perfect infiltrator. Just train her.
And so Irvin and Venton tuck Hope and Magic into bed, and then they two kind of get in there like the opposite end. Since it is correct, it is quite a large bed. Despite him being a dwarf, your dear friend Ergon did like large fluffy beds. It's like his only what's the word I'm looking for? Vice?
Lavish.
Yeah, his only lavish vice. Is large fluffy beds that were like way too big for him. Definitely not used in dwarf orgies. Anyway, good night.
Good night.
Anyway, so they go to sleep. Hey, Havu, can you roll perception for me? Cool. That's fine. Anyway, yeah, so they go to sleep. Steven takes his blanket and kind of gets off the chair and kind of curls up in a corner on the floor, cuddling under blanket.
Mhm. Every so often throughout the night, Elomiak will just get up and refill the hot water bottle and give it back to Steven so he stays kind of toasty. He's on Steven watch, not Patty watch.
Poor Steven. Yeah, but Steven has ceased to argue with what Alobiak wishes to do to care for him, because at this point he's like, well, not dead yet. They must be doing something right.
yeah, see? Yeah.
We are friends. Been telling him that the whole time.
Alomiak is a human. He knows how to he knows how to take care of humans.
I mean, Steven
He
did
knows
side with
all
you
about
guys
them.
in the cave, so.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. But anywho, yeah, anything else you guys are doing before sleepy nighttime?
Locking the broom closet. Mm-hmm.
I see. You lock the broom closet, which ironically is the only other room in this entire house, since everything else is all in one room.
Yeah, it's kind of like just a section of the wall that slightly protrudes from the wall itself, and it looks like it could only fit brooms. Like you couldn't even fit a person in there unless you really really tried. But yeah, he locks it and then he just tucks the key away and probably watches it for the first half hour just to make sure of nothing, because nothing is in there and could ever go wrong. Yep.
Yep. Anywho, so yeah, you set up the bathtub to continue its slow cooking throughout the night, and you all get your respective at rest positions, and you guys go to sleep for the night.
Sure do.
And since you're in town, you don't need to set up a watch or anything, so you guys can get a full rest, get all your spell slots back, any hit points that you're missing, all that fun jazz. So it's all back now.
Woohoo!
And of course,
Delightful.
Elomiac, you don't actually sleep, but you do rest.
Oh, Alomiak takes shifts.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, Vincent, make a perception check for me.
Yeah. Perception. Perception is going to be a 10. Still can't roll over a 10 on the die.
Huh. That's really weird. You thought there was more frog meat in there. Oh well. Must have been mistaken.
Hmm.
But anyway,
What
you
was
wake
Yeah.
up.
that?
That's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
Now
Anyway,
what you trying to say here, boy?
nothing. Anyway, you guys wake up. It's a perfectly lovely morning. The smell of nice sautéed frog exudes from the bathtub. Um, the children are up first. Havu, how are you sleeping?
Um, because she has snake body, I'm thinking she's just kind of all curled up, like, sort of near the fire to, stay warm. Just kind of all curled up on the floor, probably.
Mm-hmm. So as you blink.
At child level, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As you blink your eyes open, they are met with another pair of glowing yellow eyes. Hope is there to greet you this morning.
Glowing yellow eyes.
You
What do
better
they?
have slept, like I told you.
You don't know that.
I like you.
Hope smiles. I like you too. Then she stops staring at you creepily and goes to do child things.
Bullied into friendship via stare contest. I love it.
Anyway, so yeah, the children are awake and kind of boisterous. Their fathers get them wrangled into clean clothes, creating shield walls so that they can change unobtrusively. And they
Now, where did you get big enough things to make a lid on the bathtub and didn't tell us?
their bodies are the shield wall.
Oh, I thought you meant they made a shield wall. You need to be more specific.
No, they made a wall with their bodies shielding the children and also a bed sheet so they can get dressed behind it unobtrusively.
Yeah, there's like 12 people in this house with no separating rooms.
There's no
You gotta make do.
separating rooms. So you gotta make bed sheet curtains, okay?
I mean, would it be can we assume there's like an attic or something?
Oh yeah, there's a crawl space type attic up above in the rafters, kind of. You can actually see it from where you're standing if you look up. It's more like a series of open rafters with slightly larger boards across it that have boxes of things that Ogon might want to get down from time to time. Like, you can see everything that's up there because the boards are separated by like at least 1 to 2 foot gaps each. It's like rafters, basically.
Gotcha.
But yeah, bed sheet curtains so that they can be cool. Anywho, yeah, they get dressed. It's a good early morning. You can see the sun peeking through the windows, which are very steamed up from the combination of fire in the fireplace, fire underneath the cauldron bathtub, which is suspiciously lacking at least a quarter of the frog meat that was put into it. That's weird. But anyway, yeah, what you guys doing this morning?
If Hope comes back around, Havu is going to say, "Come here real quick." And she's going to cast Blessing of Trickery on her and say, "You will be extra sneaky for 1 hour. Go do what you want."
Oh no.
Oh no.
The
Evil.
grin that spreads across this child's features would chill Wednesday Adams' heart.
Evil.
Yeah.
Alomiak is crouched by the bathtub glaring at it for reasons you don't know.
The bathtub, of course, does not glare back. The bathtub has no eyes to do so with.
Yeah, it's a bathtub.
It's just a bathtub. Anyway,
It's just a bathtub.
yeah, so Hope grins at you and she nods slowly.
And then Havu like turns away like, "We were doing nothing. Nothing weird happened at all."
Oh yeah, oh sure. Yeah, okay.
In fact, nobody noticed she even talked to her. Where did
Because
Hope
she is
go?
sneaky like Snake now.
Oh, she definitely is. You actually have no idea where she is now.
That's fine. She can go do things. It's not my house.
Anywho,
A+ logic. It's not my house. I don't care what the repercussions of my actions are.
this is the worst Airbnb guest I've ever seen. But anyway, yeah. What's the rest of you guys doing this morning?
I fucking love how
Finton's gonna be preparing frog legs for apparently rations or breakfast or both.
There's enough in there for both, for sure. You've got about well, with frog's legs that size, especially if supplemented with other foods, because you wouldn't just straight up eat frog legs. There'd be like fruits, vegetables, dried trail rations as well. You've got enough for breakfast for everybody in there, including this family that you're staying with, if you want to. Although they seem to have their own food, and they're kind of looking dubiously at the frog legs anyway.
I don't know if it's lemon juice or something else that does this to frogs, but he would also grab the kids' attention. So like, now see, it's almost done, and I just gotta do one more thing, and he'll grab lemon juice or whatever it actually is, and pour it on the frog leg to have like the leg like totally move on its own.
I'll start twitching and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, see, now look here, and then pours it on the leg.
So magic is the only one that you can find to show this thing to, and she has her hands cupped to her cheeks, and she's like, "Oh, magical!"
And
That's right, just like you.
you see,
And because you are such a fine apprentice, I will give you the first spit of peace.
you
Spit,
see
spit,
Olomiak, who's
spit,
still
spit.
squatting beside the bathtub, glaring at it. He just looks over at you and just sniffs and necromancy.
What was that?
Necromancy.
Necromancy.
No, I don't know. Like, not
Okay.
that kind of magic, but because he doesn't want to ruin illusion for magic.
And there's a voice on the other side of you now. Can you teach me how to bring them to life?
Oh no!
And you turn your head and bam! There's hope!
Ah! Oh, there you are. Keep
I'm
your
fairly certain you
But
have
anyways,
to learn other
no,
magics first. But I'm sure if you try very hard, you can do that eventually.
it's a special cooking magic. It's not quite bringing it back to life. It's just making it tastier, and it's a cool effect.
Yes, you can put anything you put your little mind to. As he encourages the child to participate in necromancy.
Hmm.
And Finton didn't necessarily say no to the necromancy, just no, this wasn't necromancy.
Hope nods slowly, fades into the shadows.
Oh god. I need to find
And
a video because you just reminded me of a video.
for as much as a hood and no face can convey emotion, Olomiak looks a little frightened.
Steven is like, that smells good. Can I have some?
Sure. There's enough for everybody, and some rations too.
But
Let's roll a d8 here and see how many days worth of rations you got from that. You got 6 days worth of rations for, I'm assuming, all 5 of you.
Plus,
That sounds about right.
if they all ate breakfast, or
Plus if
6
they all ate
including.
breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, the six is what rations you had extra after breakfast.
Okay.
6 days
That's a
worth
lot.
of rations for 5 people.
That's a hell of a lot.
It's a fucking huge frog leg. You guys seem to think they're
And
thin
some of it vanished mysteriously.
Some of it did vanish mysteriously. That just shows you how fucking big the frog leg was.
exactly.
But anyway, so that was what Fenton was doing. Havo gave magic to a little girl that was probably best not to do. Olomiak scolding a bathtub. War, what are you doing? War. Jason.
Oh, yeah?
What's War doing this morning?
I don't know, I guess War's just still sleeping.
Sleeping. Snoring up a storm.
Yeah.
Hey, Olomiak, roll me perception really quick.
I sure will. As the bathroom continues to crunch, crunch, crunch because I forgot to mute.
Crunchity, crunchity, munchity, moo.
Perception. Which is one character. No. I don't perceive nothing.
So hungry for Lumiak.
Poor Olomiak. Oh,
I
well.
don't perceive anything.
Havu, roll perception for me. Nope. Okay. Nobody sees this happen. War, you feel a slight tickling on your arm and side of your face, and it makes you wake up.
Why would you wake me up from my slumber? I was going to sleep throughout the entire day.
And as you
Jesus
wake
Christ.
up, you look up to see what this weird sensation is from, and you see a small, teethling child. She has a salt and pepper shaker. she was shaking them on you. And as you walk up and make eye contact with her, she slowly fades back into the darkness.
Get away from me, you ugly gremlin.
Oh my god.
I would make a comment, but didn't see any of this, so.
Yeah, but Alamiak hears War just berating somebody for doing something. He looks over at War and just,
Nobody's there.
you okay?
Hope's mind is put the salt on the turtle and shake it all up.
Put the salt on the turtle. Then you're feeling better. Anyway, so yeah, you guys have a lovely frog breakfast. War, you brush off the salt and pepper, and hopefully are not completely sent into PTSD mode from that time that somebody ate your octopus friend. And yeah, you guys have rations. You guys have food. You ready to go visit Arlo? Or Elro, I should say.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, you leave the house, bidding farewell to magic and hope somewhere maybe, and their parents. And as you walk out the door and out into the street and shut the door behind you, you hear a sudden scream, and oh God, Hope, why?
What in the hell is going on?
Oh lord.
And Hope was like, I like that little one. I don't like children, but I like that one.
I am so curious.
Okay, let's go!
Yeah. Yeah. Alamiak is gonna follow, but being probably the last one out the door, pops his head in real quick and just says, remember, don't open the broom closet. And maybe stay away from the bathtub drain. Yeah, okay, bye.
Alright. And as you poke your head in there to look, what you can see is Hope on the actual the rafters that is the quote unquote attic.
Oh god.
Yep, she's up in the rafters and she's actually upside down, currently hanging by her legs wrapped around one of the boards. And she appears to be she appears to be kind of wiping off some red liquid that had been dripping from her arms.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she appears to have jump scared her parents into making her believe she was hanging bleeding from the ceiling.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
let
do
me ask
like
not
that
touching
child.
Say what?
I do like that child.
that. Lomiak's not touching that. He just leaves. That's up to that's parent problem.
That's a later problem, not a now problem.
Yeah.
And Steven shuffles after you. He takes the blanket with him.
Okay, let's go get a cure for Steven.
Yes,
Good
please.
morning! What is the cure?
Alright, so as you step into the town hall, you see Elro absolutely just floor to ceiling, books out the wazoo, papers, maps, a whole bunch of stuff spread all over the table, and what appear to be a large stack of earthenware mugs piled up next to him. He's currently raising one that is shaking to his lips. It has a deep, pungent, kind of nutty, coffee-like aroma from it, and he looks at you with kind of red-rimmed eyes. He may not need to sleep, as he is an elf, but he normally would need to take at least his 4-hour trance, and he did not do that. Um, oh, excellent, you're here. Yes, what I've learned is that you need to go north. North, very north. So wait, just sit down,
Huh?
sit down. I'll explain. Would you like some coffee? I've got coffee.
I would love some.
Excellent, excellent. Coffee! And you see a servant come in and just set down another pot of coffee before Elro and get a couple of fresh earthenware mugs to give to the rest of you guys.
Alomiak waves to the coffee and says, "Hello."
The coffee burbles.
What? He called for the coffee, not a servant. Obviously.
Excellent. Anyway, so yes, Elro gives you coffee, and he's like, all right, so as far as I know, the only cure, and this is after poring through all of the books and accounts and journals of the subject, the only cure for frigid woe, that's what this is, that's what this definitely is a weird, milky looking liquid that the Aeorians made to combat it. They don't have a name for it precisely. Uh, well, they do. It's just I can't translate it. But it looks like, and he takes a little kind of sketch he's made of a vial that is pointed at both ends and seems to be capped in what the little arrow with the word pointing to it says is gold. It's a sort of a milky looking vial like this. It's got these 2 points on it. It's capped with gold, and some people have found them in a few of the ruins that also contain frigid woe. The vial that you brought to me, definitely frigid woe. Also, it is safe to say that probably all four of that family that you housed are probably infected. But as long as you didn't touch this vial directly, you five should be alright. Or, well, I suppose not. And he nods at Stephen, who clearly must have touched it at some point. Stephen's like, yeah.
Alomiak raises his hand and says, I'm in Lehad. What's we good? You know.
Right. But anyway, I think your best bet for finding the cure would be to retrace Ergon's steps back to where he found the vial of woe in to begin with. Yes. And he slurps some more coffee down. Now, while I don't know exactly where that might be, I have pinpointed where he took his last expedition. It was on an island called Isocross. It is much like these islands, or sorry, much like these lands, quite, might I say it, blasted cold there. You will definitely want to stock up on as many warm clothes and provisions as possible. Um, but once you are ready, I can offer you 200 gold if you will go there, retrace his steps to whatever ruin he pulled this out of, and see about getting as many vials of the cure as you possibly can and bringing them back here, both to treat your friend Stephen. Well, actually, you could use one right away on Stephen when you find it sooner rather than later, given his condition. Um, but also for Hulil and the people that are in the people that are in such a state as they are in your domicile, Omiak, because it's quite probable that all of them are infected. But as many as you can get would be best, just in case there's anybody else we don't know about that is infected.
Hmm.
And then, of course,
Yeah.
it is a ruin, an Lorian ruin. To be fair, you may find a lot of useful knickknacks there as well, not just the 200 gold that I am offering you to complete this task.
Cure most important. Knickknacks come later. They've been there. They can stay here for a while. Make sure get Stephen cured. Everybody else, children not dying of cold, always good.
That is my thought as well. I know that some of you may be more monetarily motivated, though, so I just wanted to put that out there. 200 gold and whatever other articles you find in those ruins. Just bring me the vials of cures, that we may distribute them accordingly. And Olomiak's already given his assent to it, so he kind of looks at Havu, Finton, and Ward, seeing what they would say. He figures Steven's on board, because it's like that or die.
Of course, we are
Hmm.
always willing to help our friends. And she drinks more coffee.
Delicious, delicious coffee.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Fenton would have grabbed some coffee and is exceptionally energized. But like, yeah. Knickknacks? Ooh, knickknacks sounds amazing, and the gold's great too. Thank you for the coffee, by the way. I haven't had a coffee in a minute. I should have made coffee this morning. Oh well.
Well,
But
there's
thank you.
no problem. I can have a thermos sent with you if you like. That'll keep you tip top for whenever you're willing to set out. Which, by the way, brings me to your transportation. I have arranged for you. Well, I pre-arranged because I hoped you would accept my offer. Passage aboard a sailing vessel about a mile or two here at the docks on the coast. And it's called the Remoraz. And I have booked 5 passage for all of you there if you would be willing to go get the cure. Um, so so yes. So once you get there, um, you're going to want to talk to, and he writes these down for you. You're going to talk to Orvo Mustav. He's the person who probably knows whatever direction Ergon took his last expedition in, so he can pinpoint you in an appropriate direction. Um, and yes, he'd be the one you'd want to speak with. That's Orvo Mustav. Um,
Ah,
he's a
okay.
dwarf, so very very to the point. No nonsense type. Uh, and then once you find the cure and bring it back to the main camp there in Islecross, they will be able to teleport it directly here. I've already paid and had it arranged. Um, you just need to speak to Sirenla, and she will transport it. Sirenla is an Elvish associate of mine. She she she's an old friend. She'll be able to transport that directly here for me, so I can administer the cure as soon as possible to those of the village that need it.
So, questions.
Hmm.
Cure. How is administered? Mouth, other ways?
It is oral administration, yes. Supposedly, by the accounts written here, and he pulls out a very old-looking journal. Some of the pages actually slightly crack and disintegrate a little bit as he gingerly touches it. He winces every time it happens. Uh, as written here by one of the last of our number 2 encounter, Frigid Woe, once the cure was given, the effects were not immediate. It still took a week or two for recovery for the more advanced cases, but those who were only a little bit along were good within a day or so.
Yeah, okay. Other question. shopkeep died in horrible bandit attack. Glad we caught murderer. Yes, hold the battle. Anyway, who do we buy crap from now?
Uh, fair point. I would be
Or can
more.
we just take?
Uh, I would be more than happy to, within reason, allocate some of the belongings of the late Pellic to you. But of course, I can't give you the whole shop. It would go to whatever family they have left, which we are currently tracking down. But for this endeavor, as elder of the village, I would be more than happy to allocate some of the necessities of your journey to you if you need rations or perhaps more heavy cold weather clothing, or anything else that is
Eh,
specific to the journey and the expedition. I would be happy to either allocate that to you or perhaps work out a negotiable price to take out of the gold that I was going to pay you.
yeah, specific to this, yes. Let's see. Last person who held vial before me, kind of stupid. Not the family with the children. Maybe they're stupid, but the person before them was maybe stupid because they broke the vial. So, cloth maybe to make sure vials do not break when we travel because I feel like that would be bad.
Certainly, cloth is definitely doable. Did you perhaps want like a lined pouch or something for protection reasons?
Yeah, maybe box. Yeah,
Like a
maybe
medicine
box.
like a medicine pouch perhaps that's specific to transporting vials of that nature?
If it makes sure people don't be stupid and break them, then yes.
Yes, I can definitely get that arranged for you. I can give you one of those, not a problem.
Yeah, okay. Hmm. Yeah, okay. That's it. And then Olomiak seems satisfied with the answers and doesn't appear to have any more questions. At least none he wants to ask this dude. And so he's
A-
gonna
Anything else I can supply the rest of you with that you'll need for the journey? Within reason, of course.
Well, these ruins,
Mm.
are they like a building? Do we have to go into a cave?
To be quite honest with you, we have absolutely no idea where Ergon got these vials from. It could, as far as we know, just be a single alchemist's hut somewhere out there amongst the frozen tundra of that island. Or it could be an intricate system of ruins. We don't actually know.
Well,
Um,
I'm saying maybe we need to get rope and climbing gear or something.
Climbing gear, rope, that is definitely doable. Silken or hempen,
Whatever the best you have.
that would be silken, yes. I can definitely provide 50 feet of silken rope and climbing gear um, for a lot of you. That's not a problem.
And probably if it is so cold, I don't know if we should get another layer of coats.
I would highly recommend it, even those of you resistant to the cold. The weather here is nothing in comparison to what it is there.
Okay. Um, are these ruins known to be dangerous?
I mean, it depends on where he got them from. Some ruins are quite benign, they don't have anything in them except for a couple small relics of the past. Some of them are taken up by creatures who inhabit the frozen wastes. Some of them may contain very dangerous things akin to the frozen, so akin to the frigid woe and other magical maladies of some sort. Since we don't actually know which ruins he found these items in, I can't really attest to what you'll be facing. The only thing I know for certain is cold.
We may need to have a more hooded lanterns, maybe. If it is windy cold, we definitely should not be using torches. And I think last time we only had the one lantern from a Lomiak.
I would be able to provide you with a second lantern, perhaps another hooded one, certainly. Um, but light is one of the few precious commodities that we here in the north, as you know, hold quite dear. Light and warmth. So I can provide you with one additional lantern of the hooded variety.
Eh, what about this? And then Lomiak's gonna whip out their grappling hook and just stare at him and say, eh, in case need to cross bridge and all of us very bad at walking.
That would be included in your climbing gear that I will be supplying for each of you.
Lomiak just looks at the grappling hook and then looks back at him and says, "You use this for climbing?" And then he scratches his back with it.
So Elro arches one perfectly sculpted brow higher than the highest widow's peak hairline you've ever seen, and just nods. Yes, typically that is the function. Yes,
Wow,
for climbing.
these things are great. Scratch his back and climb.
Indeed. Anyway, anything that I could provide for you, Master Turtle? He looks at War. Jason,
Yeah.
is there anything that War would like Elro to give him for the trip to the north that he's about to take?
Hmm. I'd like a giant winter coat, about the size of my shell.
I'm certain we could work something of that nature out. Um, we can think of something. Maybe something that has sort of an open back so your shell can protrude out of it, but would still fasten around the top and bottom. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I have no clue if stuff like that exists.
It's like a snuggie for turtles.
Huh, I've heard of this snuggie thing.
That was
Oh,
out of character, but yeah.
one more thing. Lomiak kind of inches back over and gestures over his shoulder. A family staying inside my house. Make sure they taken care of, yeah? Where we go?
Oh, yes, of course. We will transport them meals daily and leave them just outside the door so they can come out and take them, just in case they are infectious. Normally, if you touch something to do with frigid woe, that's when you are infected, but we can't really be too careful just in case they had any spores still left on them. It is a spore, by the way, just so you are aware. You breathe it in or absorb it through the skin by touching.
Ah, good. Okay, cool. And one more thing. Don't open the broom closet.
He kind of leans away from you as you say that. I wouldn't dream of it.
Okay, good.
Also, do you happen to have anything like enchanted armor or weapons, just in case we can borrow and bring back maybe?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid I have nothing like that of my own. And as far as I'm aware, Pelik's shop didn't really sell anything enchanted. It was more basic uh, necessities, or else I would be happy to grant it to you. Um,
Yeah, worth a shot.
but I'm sure the ruins might have some of those things, depending on where he got the vials from.
We can only
He didn't,
hope.
he didn't sell any kind of potions or anything like that either.
We do not. However, when you make it across to the Isles of Islecross, um, the main camp there on the island you're going to, by the way, the island you're going to is called Utho Durinian. Utho Durinian.
Is there anything else you have to say?
Um, yes. Well, anyway, when you when you get there, you may find that there is a few people who are selling things like that. that you might be able to barter for them. A lot of people go there to try to find Aeorian ruins and make it big by selling the artifacts found there, much like Ergon did. So they are very well equipped to sell to adventuring and expeditionary parties that are setting out there. They would probably have more of those sort of things. But
Okay.
but anyway, the Remoraz is waiting at the docks whenever you're able to get to it. Whether that's today or if you need a day to prepare yourselves, I fully understand. But time, and he looks at Stephen, is definitely of the essence. So I would go as soon as you are able.
So Attica has a question.
What?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
One, and this may be the same question too. In your books, was there ever anything that pointed to how long it would take for someone to die of this?
So as far as I can see, it takes about um, 3 to 4 weeks to fully succumb, depending on the health of the individual, of course. Um, the furthest anybody has been cured, according to what I've read, is at about the 3.5 week mark. Um, and once you're frozen solid, there's nothing getting you back.
Okay.
My question was, are we going to be passing by the cavern where the frogs and stuff were on our way to the boat, or is that not on the way?
That is not on the way. That's further inland. You'll actually be going south out the bottom of the village, basically, the complete opposite way of the Frog Cavern to get to the docks that are about a mile, mile and a half away from the village itself, on
Oh, okay.
the edge of the continent.
Gotcha. Roger.
Alrighty. So, yeah, Elro looks at you and kind of places his hands on the table. I can have the items you've asked for ready within the hour. But if you need more time to prepare, I understand. When do you think would be all right for you lot to set out?
Elomiak go right away, but Elomiak is not going alone, so can't decide for group.
Babu will go whenever everyone is ready.
Elomiak is ready.
Finton, War?
Vinton's ready. He does have a question. He does have questions for Steven and Tolgi and Hulu. If we want to go try reach back to Hulu to see when they touched it or got exposed.
Well, Tolgi might know because she gave it to Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
They could just go as Tolki and give her a little bit of hope.
Yep. Yeah, Tolgi's the one who is here in the village.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. Olympiac actually brings that up, so when we done here, maybe we go tell Togi that she may be not die soon, maybe.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, if you want to ferry that information to her, you certainly can. I was going to go tell her myself, but if you want to do it, go right ahead.
She might have extra climbing gear too. Not like she's going to use it right now. And then Olympiac's gonna duck out and be like, "See you at Togi's."
Let us know when the supplies are ready.
Oh, I will have them sent to the ship post haste. It'll only take them. Well, that's why I said they'll be ready within the hour. It'll only take them about an hour to get to the ship from here. So yes, it'll be there almost as soon as you can be there.
Off to Togi's house we go.
Mm-hmm.
Walking by the house, she kind of listens in to hear if there's chaos going on in the house.
You listen and roll a perception check for me. Yep. So you hear the quiet sobbing of a parent that is at the very end of their rope emotionally. and you hear very softly Hope's voice. There, Father. It will all be all right in the end.
It'll all be over soon, parental figure.
I like that one.
You also, with a 22, can hear magic seeming to have a conversation with an inanimate object because the other father figure, who is not sobbing, says, Magic, why are you talking to the bathtub? Because he tells funny jokes.
How the hell does a bathtub tell any joke?
Don't worry about it.
I'm afraid we're gonna have to send you to a mental asylum.
I am so lucky that the bathtub didn't attack me for putting a literal fire under its butt.
You fed it. It was kind of a trade-off. It's fine.
Here, let me light you on fire and trade. I'll give you food.
Derek was
I mean-
cold, okay?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like Ergon has never taken a hot bath before.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes he likes the vibration bubbles that the bathtub can do. Just like
Mhm.
he just starts vibrating, and then it's a jacuzzi.
Mhm. I don't want that image in my head, but yeah, agreed.
Oh God.
It's the mimic growling. That's what makes the vibrations.
God.
Anyway, eventually Lomia gets to Tolvi's door and knocks and says, Tolvi, you're still alive? Oh, we got good news.
You hear
Uh.
loud barking.
Or you might not want to be here. They might just immediately attack you for good reason.
What? I didn't chop the head off the other one.
He
I said war,
Oh, yeah.
not you.
Sorry, I forget my own name sometimes.
So,
If she's
yeah.
not answering, she's probably dead.
Hey, War.
Yeah.
Fenton just pointed out that you might not want to be there because you'll probably get attacked by the
Puppy.
by the puppy.
Domesticated wolf.
Very angry puppy.
Very angry puppy.
Mm.
A very angry lady. Possibly angry at us still by association, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna, Olomiak's gonna not so much press their ear to the door, but press their self to the door, their entire self, trying to listen carefully. It doesn't work though. All I hear is barking.
Yeah, and it's right in your ear too because the wolf has come right up to the door and is currently like barking at it so hard the door is vibrating.
Doggy, tell Tolgi that we may be able to find cure. So
If
Okay.
you don't have it now, go away. I'm being miserable on my own.
okay,
Oh
have
yeah,
a
I just
good
wanted
one.
I just wanted to ask you, when the hell did you have all that stuff that you think you got this from?
2 weeks or so ago.
Oh, that's
Good to know. Is that when you gave it to your sister?
Yes, now fuck off. I want to go back to bed. It's fucking cold.
Do I
bye-bye.
remember this correctly? That Hulu wasn't as progressed as Tolgi was?
Correct.
Huh.
Because Tolgi had it first.
Okay.
Yeah, Tolgi's the one who helped helped rob the
Tolgi
place
fucked
to
up.
get the vial. and brought it to her sister. And then Hulil had them rob Pelix to see if Pelix had any more of those, or at least a cure. Pelix already dead because she handled it before Tolgi did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, chain of infection when Ergon, who brought it back, the vial, and sold it and a bunch of other items to Pelix. Then Tolgi and some of the bandits robbed Pelix's shop, and the vial, along with a bunch of other stuff, went to Hulil. Then when Tolgi noticed that she was getting sick too, she tried to rob Ergon's house, which is why it was in such a disarray when Alomiak went back into it. Because she was trying to see if he had the cure there, and he didn't. And he died. Pelix died, but nobody knew about it because Pelix hid her infection from everyone. And Tolgi is progressed enough that you can see the infection now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll try to hurry. We'll try to hurry.
Yeah, we go now. Use whatever people do to stay alive longer when they're supposed to die a long time ago. Yeah, do that. Okay, bye. And then Alomiak's gonna leave. Goes back to his house to find Havu listening at the door.
Havu, as you listen at the door, you hear in time to have magic say, "What's in here?" and the click and creak of a broom closet door opening.
Yeah.
I think she found your broom closet.
Yeah, you see as Alomiak almost shoves Havu out of the way, has more self-preservation than that, goes around, and then bursts into the house and just noises.
You burst in time to see Hope, who is still kind of kneeling in front of the door with lockpicks that she appears to have been made out of bending her hair barrettes, and magic opening said door that Hope has just lockpicked.
Yeah, you see Alomiak slides in and then just stands there in neurodivergent T-pose and then just points at them and says, "No."
Magic slowly keeps opening the door while looking at him.
Oh boy. I gotta figure some stuff out real quick. Hang on.
What were you keeping in that closet?
We're about to find out. And how many?
Oh,
okay,
no.
It's not that bad. So as Alomiak walks over to the broom closet, places a hand on the door, and just slowly slides it shut. What appears to be a broom handle starts to like fall out of the broom closet, but it's falling much more slowly than it physically should, almost like it's just leaning out of the broom closet. And then as Alomiak shoves it back in, there's a little bit of a squeal of something, and then he slams the door shut, and he leans down and stares both the children in the face and says, "No."
And Hope looks at him and tilts her head to one side and says, "Why are you no fun?"
"I am tons of fun. I am very fun."
Magic is like, her lip is quivering, and she's like, "But they wanted to play. They said so."
Yeah, well, they're stupid, lying liars, and they just want to nibble on your toes. And we don't do toe nibbling here.
I can give them other people's toes. That's Hope, by the way.
Alomiak goes quiet as he actually seems to consider this.
What was that you said, Hope, dear? Nothing, Father. Okay.
Abu looks at them and goes, not the kids, but the adults, and go, I like them.
You see, as Alomia kind of just holds their hood and just taps their foot and bows their head and just seems to be thinking really hard about this, and then eventually just he's gonna re-lock the door and then smash the lock so it can't be lock-picked and say, no, once you get off the diet, you'll never get back on. Yeah, so better we don't.
And Magic sighs and is like, but I wanted more friends.
You can be friends through the woodwork.
She leans in and she whispers quietly, and Alomiak, you recognize the language, because it's it's what you speak. I don't really know what mimics speak, but that's what she's saying. She's saying, "Don't worry, I'll get you out later."
Yeah, Alomiak just sort of reaches out a hand and it quivers above this child's head, and then it just slowly shakes as it reels back again, like there is a massive struggle not to grab this child by the skull and just no. And then the arm slowly, like, is just shaking like a leaf as it's pinned back at Alomiak's side, and then Alomiak turns to the closet and says, in the same language, by the way, which nobody else in the room seems to understand, okay, I'm not into cannibalism, but I haven't eaten the whale, so you better behave, yeah?
And that's when Hope speaks up again. See? No fun. And Magic nods in agreement. This part's in common.
What language are you speaking?
Oh, don't
Speaking
mind them.
little...
That's just their made-up language that they use to each other. They've spoken it ever since we adopted them. It's twin language, we call it.
Huh.
Aha.
Could be useful.
Yeah, I was a twin too. Yeah. And he points at the broom closet, doesn't explain anything, and just leaves. Twin language, my...
Irvin looks confused. Like, I mean, it's just a nonsense language that they made up together. But okay, go off.
It sure is. Anyway,
is thinking in her brain, if the parents don't make it, I could use these two.
Alomiak leaves and then walks over to his emotional support, Steven, just rests his head on his shoulder and says, I hate children.
This is
Emotional
a real role
support
reversal.
human.
This is such a role reversal. Steven reaches up and awkwardly pats you on the back of the head in like a comforting manner.
It's
Emotional support human.
it's so hard to maintain my diet around them. I don't understand how people do it.
I went on a diet once. It was really annoying. My parents wanted me to be a vegetarian, and I don't like broccoli.
Speaking of which, Alomiak, did you not have any of that frog leg this morning? There's still some left.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we got like 6 days worth.
6 days worth, correct.
Or are you too on that
Lord.
vegetarian, vegan silliness?
All
Get this
right, let's
hero back.
go before we change our minds.
All right. So you guys start heading out to the south of the village, and after gathering any supplies at your own homes that you want to take with you. You've been promised by Elro that the supplies that you requested are already going to be heading to the boat and will be there within the hour. Um, he was writing them down as you were talking and requesting things, so he was definitely taking notes. Um, and yeah, so you guys start headed to the south. It's actually a much safer journey than it was going to the Frog Cave because this road is very well traveled. You see a couple of carts going back and forth between the village itself and a small crossroads that's only about 100 feet or so to the south of the village that leads off in other directions to other larger settlements. And you make it to the docks without any problems. And there, sitting in the docks, is a very large ship that has a sweeping front bow that looks like it is designed specifically to cut through ice. It has a large kind of almost bladed front to it that it seems to be made of some kind of lightweight beaten metal that has been welded to the ship's front and appears to be resistant to the seawater it is resting in. And it's sitting there at the edge of the docks, surrounded by other smaller fishing vessels and a couple of ships that you recognize as merchant vessels. But this ship is definitely built for a longer sea voyage. And as you approach the Remras, um, you see that there is a female dwarf who is tapping her toes on the dock as she leans against one of the mooring points and kind of glances down the pier in your direction and gives you a wave.
You must be Orvo.
Uh, Orvo, no, that's my brother. He's on the island. My name is Morgo.
Oh, the elf didn't tell us about you. But hello!
Well, of course he wouldn't be talking about me. Nobody likes talking about their ex.
Ooh, we may need to talk. Okay,
Hi.
everybody, let's go!
I'd be more than happy to. But yes, welcome to the Remoras. If you're wanting to set off, now's the time. And you see her send a sweeping arm towards the gangplank to load up. And that's where we're going to stop for the night.
You stay tuned for the next episode.
Yep. So yeah, thank you to anybody who was watching tonight. Had a little bit of a late start. Do apologize for that, but we got back on track. The next part of Frozen Sick is going to be taking place on a nice little sea voyage, which hopefully we'll be doing on Wednesday of next week if the stars align properly for us to keep up with this little one shot. We are about, I would say, a little bit over half to two-thirds way through it because it is a 1 through 3 campaign. So yeah, depending on how much roleplay we have, we might actually get it done within the next 4 or 5 sessions or so. Tomorrow, we might be doing Miss Cutter Island. Kind of just depends on what everybody is able to make up for it. But we might be hopefully doing the conclusion of Miss Cutter Island tomorrow. If not, life, it sucks. Last week, it was my fault because I had allergies and they were murdering me. I dislike nature. I mean, I dislike nature disliking me. But yeah, we will see you possibly tomorrow on Thursday, and then on Friday, we will be doing the B crew because we didn't get to do it last Friday. So we're gonna do that, and you'll finally find out what happened to our friends after that big, messy battle that they had. From those of us here at the One Shot of Frozen Sick, thank you, good night, and hope will be watching over you as you sleep.
Try not to die by the burning depths of hell.
Okay, good night. Bye.